Last year, pot stocks were the talk of Wall Street as more and more states got on board with recreational marijuana. But this year, the narrative is very different, and the recent vaping crisis is playing a big role. Since the launch of the CDC's vaping illness investigation in August, cannabis stocks have been crushed. Just look at the big names like Canopy Growth, down 30%, Tilray is down 40%. Joining me now is Michael Lavery. He's senior research analyst for Piper Jaffray, covering both of these sectors, cannabis and tobacco. Michael, it's great to see you again. So why is the crackdown on vaping hitting the pot stocks?
Thank you. Well, it's hard to tell the exact correlation, but certainly there appears to be, at a minimum, consumer uncertainty. Ironically, there's a bit of an opportunity here. If it is black market products that are clearly and definitively causing the illnesses, then it should favor these regulated players and actually steer consumers in that direction. But at the moment, the authorities that are investigating just haven't been able to pinpoint it precisely enough to say that in a way that gives consumers the comfort they would need.
Even if it is black market products, does it still pose a threat to the viability of some of these cannabis plays going forward, meaning how the regulators might come down on it?
One of the reasons vapor is important to the cannabis industry is that in states in the U.S. where it's been state legal for some time, it tends to be about 25 to 30% of the category. So it's a large segment. And for anyone who's interested in the category but not looking to smoke, it can be a more approachable form factor for them. So it is a piece of the puzzle that matters, and that's where what the regulators decide really makes a difference. Keep in mind that for the Canadian operators, they're still a couple months away from having vape markets legalized in that country at all. It isn't yet in the market there, and that's something that we'll be watching how consumers respond, assuming that proceeds as planned.
Yeah, I understand that Canopy and Greenthumb Industries are a couple of the names that you would favor in your coverage universe. Why is that?
One of the things that's coincided with these vaping headlines is a focus from some more of the top-line growth to the earnings and cash flow of the operations. And so while investors still care about the top-line growth, the retail rollout in Canada has been a little bit slower than expected. That's forced investors' attention a little bit more on what the earnings and execution and discipline looks like. We've highlighted Cronos and Canopy as two names that have very strong balance sheets due to the cash infusions from their strategic investment partners. And then Greenthumb also has sustainable operations and wouldn't need a cash injection to keep going. A lot of other companies in the space aren't quite as fortunate. You know,
what does it mean when you have a lot of these major companies, Kroger being the latest example, coming out and saying they're going to stop selling e-cigarettes at their stores? You know, again, I understand the overlap there. They're trying to target a product that they think has really hooked teens and prevent that from, you know, engendering a larger blowback. But if this product gets pushed in general out of mainstream channels, where is it likely to go? Whether it's going to ultimately be e-cigarettes or if you're vaping cannabis products?
Certainly for both sectors, it's a question that matters, because if the black market products are indeed truly the issue, as seems most likely to be the case, then in some respects, the worst thing to do is to give consumers a greater incentive to seek those out and to restrict the legal ones. But understandably, retailers and authorities who are regulating the nicotine products certainly don't want to be on the front lines of a new problem. It's early, and everyone's trying to do what they can to nip something in the bud.
Michael, it's really interesting. Thanks so much for joining me. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Michael Lavery is with Piper Jaffray.